Hello and welcome back everybody to F124 My Team Career Mode.
Thank you, Mr.
Oh, I forgot to mute my mic there. Normally I would mute it and then just voice over. But anyway, welcome back to F124 My Team Career Mode. This is episode number 13. It's been a while since I've uploaded. In fact, I think episode 12 hasn't been uploaded at the time of this recording. And this is sprint weekend at the Brazilian Grand Prix. I don't really like sprint weekends now that much because they take extensive amount of time to edit, and crucially this is when we had an issue with the game where it was just very buggy, especially at Interlagos. There was a time trials bug where, was it time trials or practice? I don't remember, but something was wrong where nothing would work as it should, and it was a very difficult time for the game and their players, including myself, as I faced this issue in that practice session before this qualifying. So yeah, it's been a long time since I've uploaded, as I mentioned, and sorry, I mean, not really. Am I sorry? I keep doing this, and for a good reason as well. I have to focus on my academic progress and getting my degree in university, so I had to focus on the more important stuff. But now we're back. I'm done with my semester, spring semester, and I'm now into my summer vacation, or summer break. It's not really a vacation. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying at home, and I'm gonna be recording F1 24 and 25 coming out very soon, end of this month actually. This is the 10th of May as I'm recording this, and also if you've noticed, I've gotten a new mic. Hopefully it sounds as good as I think it does, yeah, let's try and have some fun. You know, we're very close to getting 100 subscribers on the channel, and yeah, hopefully we can do this in the next couple of episodes that I'm going to be working on. Anyway, we are now in SQ3, comfortably into SQ3, as our teammate got knocked out. He was lining up in P12. He's going to be lining up P12 in the sprint. Not bad performance from him, as we're making our way through the second sector now. On the set of softs that we're using for 1 or 2 laps, depending on how comfortable I am. I'm going on a second run in this shortened qualifying session, as we cross the sector 2 line 8 tenths quicker than Lance Stroll, who's currently in 6th place, as we are going to be opening the DRS and heading towards the line to clock a 19.0, putting us in 5th place currently for the sprint, and that is our only run in the sprint qualifying format, as we line up 7th for the sprint.
Forget pit stops, forget fuel management. It's pedal to the metal all the way here as we get ready for today's sprint. It's an unusual anti-clockwise race here at Interlagos, where the Sao Paulo locals are packed into the grandstands at each of the 15 corners around this classic 2.7-mile circuit. 2 very fast sections bookend the famous and highly technical Sector 2, where getting a good run out of Junsao into one of the 2 DRS zones will be key to any overtaking prospects today. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and Fernando Alonso completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Norris, Gasly, Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez, Stroll, Ricciardo, Leclerc, Hülkenberg, Sargent, Albon, Joe, Bottas, the owner driver, Russell, Tsunoda, Oscar Piastri, Ocon, and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out.
We're at the back, but give it 100% and we can still come away with a decent result. I believe in
Yeah,
you.
completely
Come on.
forgot about the 10th place grid penalty that I took after replacing one of the components in the power unit. I mean, I still have a few more to replace, but I didn't want to take any more penalties. I mean, to be fair, I did not know at the time that the penalty will apply into the sprint. I was going off of the older rules where you can change a part
Right, let's get the car up to
even
temperature on this
even
lap,
during
please.
qualifying.
We're loading the
Oh
gears,
no,
so
no,
let's go through
you can
them
put
all
in
if
a
you can.
new part without incurring a penalty in the sprint, and so on and so forth. I don't remember the full thing about it. Anyway, we're lining up 17th behind Bottas and Guan Yu Zhou in the Saubers, and Russell is there with us as well. Probably another penalty for him for replacing a part, but makes sense later in the season. Anyway, we get a good line up towards between the two Saubers as we have 5 red lights, and away we go as Leclerc gets a very decent start. Amazing start actually from Leclerc as he maintains his lead going into turn 1. Alonso gets a very slow start but holds on to second place. Sainz is in third, Norris in fourth as we get a poor start, dropping down to 19th place, now 18th as we're fighting with the two Saubers for position, as we're going to try to work our way up through the field early in the race as we're using the soft, so we can be as aggressive as we want in this 8 lap race. Sorry. As we make a move down the inside of who's that, Logan Sargent, and up to 16th we go, and around the outside to secure our position in 15th actually, as the next car ahead is Oscar Piastri with Alex Albon ahead of him, and Hulkenberg in 12th, Leclerc, our teammate, in 11th, Stroll is in 10th, and the top 10 I don't think changed that much since the start of this sprint, as we're making our way around the final corner to cross the line and end our first lap, as we're going to make a move on Oscar Piastri. Around the outside we go, and round that was actually a very close move on Albon as well around the outside, but we have to settle in for 14th at the moment. And now lap 3 of the sprint. I'm going to be stopping a lot here as I'm trying down the inside of Alexander Albon and around the outside as we try to gain the place, but we couldn't, and we're going to try again, down the inside, and up to 13th we go, as we're going to hopefully try to make it into the points. Lap 4 now with Hulkenberg in our sights, as DRS is going to be deployed for him and for us as well, but we're going to use our ERS to try and close the gap. We're going to go around the outside. We're looking for a move around the outside, and around the outside we go. I said around the outside so many times in that sentence there. And up into 12th, right behind our teammate, and a second dose of DRS. Nope, we're not going to have a move over there, as down the inside of our teammate we go, making sure we're not making any contact with him there, and a clean move to go up into 11th place. Not bad so far, as we're showing some very strong pace relative to the rest of the grid. A bit of oversteery. Lap 6 here around the Senna S's, as Ricardo is the next car ahead with DRS. Oh no, that was Stroll with DRS, as we managed to go around the outside of Daniel Ricciardo. Our teammate was looking for a move down the inside. Actually, we're still side by side with Ricciardo going up into turn 6, and we complete the move, but he kind of looks for a switchback over there, but we defended it very well. And up into 10th place we go, and shame that it's not points from 1st to 10th, as the standings are currently Leclerc, Sainz, Alonso, Norris, Hamilton, the top 5, Verstappen, Gasly, Perez, and Lance Stroll in 9th, as we make a move down the inside of turn 1, but he switches back on us as we went deep, but then we managed to recover and retake 9th place. And yeah, that was it basically for the sprint, as Leclerc has led basically every lap of this sprint as his teammate right behind him in second place, with Alonso dropping down to third, as that's our top 3 for the sprint. So yeah, that was a really exciting sprint. Shame we couldn't make it into the points, but Stroll here looking for a move as he makes it up into 9th. That was a very
Okay, pick up rubber and
very
bring it
surprising end to the sprint.
Well, that's an end to the sprint action. Next up, we'll set the grid for the Grand Prix. So we'll see you next time. It's a Saturday showdown. Anyone fancy some hot laps around Interlagos? It's qualifying day here for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix.
All right, straight into qualifying we go after a very exciting end to the sprint, as Lance Stroll catches us right at the line on the last lap to take 9th place. It wasn't for points, but it still was for position, and that was a very Alonso Perez like situation that we had going on over there between us and Lance Stroll, and we're now qualifying for the main Sunday race, so there's going to be points all the way down to 10th place, and unlike 2025 there's going to be an extra point for fastest lap. We're very well into the 2025 season, and like, I don't know, honestly this season is looking very spicy as we set the fastest lap of anybody currently, but then we drop down to 10th and we are ready to go out on our second run with a teammate right behind us, on track, not in terms of position. He is somewhere around 14th, 15th, which isn't bad. Again, he is a rookie driver, but we're going to be looking to replace him with someone who's more experienced, has more race pace, as we set a purple first sector, showing our strength around this circuit as we always do, and 3/10 up on Esteban Ocon, 5/10 up on our previous lap time, as we are going to deploy our DRS and we're going to head for the line to set a 1 minute 8.8 that puts us up into second place, and we have another 10 place grid penalty because we're replacing the other part. I should have just taken both both components out. Lando Norris, the surprise knockout in Q1 in his McLaren. That's a very unfortunate result for him.
Right, we've lost telemetry. In fact, we've lost pretty much all sensor information. It's being looked into now, so just bear with us for a few minutes if you can.
Yeah, no big deal, no big deal. It's only a sensor fault, as we're going to start our first Q2 lap on the used set of softs. As always, we do that. We always have to keep an offset of tires. I don't know why I do that, but I mean, if we always get into Q3, then there's no point in doing that. We just use 2 softs, but it is what it is at this way. Oscar Piastri currently the fastest driver, 108.8, and we're gonna cross the line now to end our first lap, a bit slower than our previous Q1 time. Obviously used tire, but then we're gonna have the new set of softs ready for us as we start our second lap in Q2. Excuse me, man, I just had lunch and it's all going around in there, I don't know, as we gain a 10th exiting the second corner, and we're currently at the cusp around the final corner as we have a purple first sector, green personal best in the middle sector. We're deploying ERS all the way to the line as we are going to try to get ourselves into Q3, and we have successfully done that, 6th, and safely into Q3 as we're going to let Alonso by on our first run. We're going to keep a distance so we can start our first Q3 lap, as we're going to aim to go as high as possible to mitigate our 10 place grid penalty that we're gonna have to serve in the race. Obviously 10 place grid penalty, I don't know what I'm talking about here. But yeah, decent first sector, and an okay middle sector, 6/10 quicker than Lance Stroll, who has already set a lap time. And DRS deploying now as we are gonna head to the line to finish our first lap, a 109.0, which is actually a very good lap, as we're gonna put on our new set of softs for this final run, as we are currently sitting in 7th place in qualifying. That would be 17th in the race, so we don't want that. We want to start probably like 3rd or 4th, you know, second row, not start, finish 2nd or 3rd or 4th, as we have a purple first sector. And to the middle sector, we're gonna cross the middle sector line now, as we have a personal best, a 10th and a half quicker than Verstappen, as he sets the fastest lap of the grid, fastest lap, and takes provisional pole, as we're gonna now deploy our ERS and cross the line any moment now. And where is it that we're gonna start the race on Sunday? We're gonna start from 17th. That's gonna be very tough. Yeah, okay, not the best qualifying from us, but it's a pretty tight grid.
Welcome along then to where heroes and history are made. It's where the 2008 title was decided in the very final corner. And just 1 year later, Jenson Button stormed through from 14th on the grid to claim his one and only Drivers' Championship. It's time then for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Interlagos, always a very special race here in Brazil. It's a 2.7 mile circuit with 9 lefts and 6 rights for a total of 15 corners. The fastest lap today should have an average speed of around 135 miles per hour, if, of course, the weather stays dry until the end of the Grand Prix. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And a very happy Carlos Sainz will start second. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Fernando Alonso, Perez, Oscar Piastri, Gasly, Stroll, Ocon, Tsunoda, Albon, Leclerc, Bottas, Russell, Hamilton, Joe, the owner driver, Ricciardo, Norris, Magnussen, Hülkenberg, and Logan Sargent. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Back of the grid, not great, I know, but let's just try and use the first lap to push your way up the order.
Alright, so starting from 17th once again, ahead of Ricciardo and Lando Norris, who was the surprise knockout in qualifying on Saturday, as they're going to be starting on the soft tyre, as well as a good chunk of the grid, if not the whole grid. They're starting on the soft tyre. So we're going to be looking...
We're not seeing any technical issues coming off the practice start. Watch the RPM on the full start.
Alright, we're going to try to work our way up the field, much like the sprint race, as starting from 17th is going to be pretty tough. I mean, Verstappen won the race from 17th on the grid in 2024. That was a very valiant effort from him, and that's pretty much what secured the championship for him that season, as we're going to have now 5 red lights for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Verstappen on pole position, it's lights out and away we go. Verstappen gets a poor start as Sainz overtakes him into first place, as he drops down to 3rd place, Verstappen, as we're gonna try to jostle our way through the pack. And we lost the position there to Daniel Ricciardo, who had a very good start, but we are side by side with him going down into turn 4, as there's a lot of dust kicking up from all the cars, as lots of debris is flying off every single car, and that's where the issue comes in from the bugs that I was talking about. You're gonna see it in a second now. I know it's kind of spoiling the video, but this is the issue that we were facing, exactly what I was talking about. Nothing happens during the race, like where there's damage or anything, but it just causes random red flags and safety cars. But it really helped me with the video in a way, because it made the sprint video shorter. Now we're gonna think about putting on the hards till the end of the race, maybe. No, we're committing to the medium tire. That's interesting. But now from 15th on the grid, as we have 5 red lights toward the restart, and it's lights out and away we go, as Sainz once again gets a good start. Verstappen jumps Alonso on the start, and he's back up into 2nd place. As we go around the outside of many cars here, trying to go around the outside of many cars, as up to 13th we go. We drop down to 14th behind Valtteri Bottas, as down to turn 4. We're gonna look for a move maybe on the Mercedes, as we do now. Down the inside we go on George Russell, and once again there's a lot of debris getting kicked up from the curbs, as you can see over there. And that's definitely gonna cause another bug, because I know what's happening here. Anyway, we're gonna try for a move down the inside, as we have a safety car this time. No red flag, luckily, as we're gonna now sit behind the safety car for a couple of laps, as the fake debris is cleared up from the track. And this is lap 5, as we have rain on the way in 10 minutes race time, as safety car is gonna be going in this lap. We are up into 11th place, which is very good for us in terms of position, where we can now try and fight for a point scoring position. Honestly, like, look, this was a very tough race to follow for myself, and definitely a tough race to edit as well, as we have now the restart, as we're gonna go and try to make a move on Albon. Down the inside we go on the Williams, as we are now up into 10th place and into the point scoring position, as now see, this is exactly what I was talking about, the safety car issue, or safety car bug, as many would call it, as it's really disrupting the flow of the race. It's making everything boring and annoying, in fact, as 9th place Ocon is right ahead of us, and we're gonna not try to make a move here, as safety car, no safety car, safety car.
Okay, we've got a full course caution. The safety
You see the way I'm predicting this stuff? It's annoying, and I don't like that, especially for a video that I've recorded like in late November. It's May right now, and I know exactly what's happening. Anyway, it's lap 11 now. For some reason, Ocon ends up behind us. No clue what happened there. Probably spun out or something. But yeah, like I got tired of it. In fact, that was like the most annoying race I had to take part of in this series, as we're gonna get ready to restart once again. We're alongside Perez, already behind the line, as we're gonna cross the line, and now we're gonna overtake him, going around the outside, maybe down the inside of Piastri in turn 2. That was a very smooth move, as we're now up into 6th place and into a higher scoring position, right behind Leclerc and Gasly. And now there's no safety cars anymore. We're gonna be fighting our way through the field, as Gasly is the next victim of our overtakes. Round the outside we go into turn 1. He's still alongside us, but we managed to get the traction, and up into 5th place we go, as now Leclerc is the next car ahead. We can catch him hopefully, but no, we can't catch him. Currently worrying more about the rain than anything, as it's raining quite heavily now, as we're gonna think about pitting for intermediates.
Okay, the forecast suggests this rain's going to keep getting stronger for at least
So
the
yeah,
next 15 minutes. Dry's definitely
currently
seemed like the fastest
Dry's,
tire at
our engineer is saying that Dry's is the fastest tire, but as you can see there is no grip anywhere on the track right now as we try to put down the power, as we're gonna head into the pits for the intermediate tire. We're gonna pull the trigger and see if anyone else on the grid is thinking the same thing as I felt like the intermediates were the best idea here. I was not gonna get any grip with those slicks as we drop down to the end, or to the back of the grid. But we're gonna see now in the next remaining 6 laps how much will that hurt or benefit us, depending on how much it rains. And as you can see right now, it's raining very heavily, and we're just gonna keep talking about the weather, as the FIA disabled DRS, meaning it is too wet to continue with slicks and DRS. And as you can see on the minimap, a lot of cars are pitting currently right now, as we're gonna jump a good chunk of them as we pass the pit lane now, and up into 6th we go with Magnussen, who's still on the slick tire. But as you can see, it's definitely not conditions for slicks, and Magnussen's gonna be suffering a lot down this straight, as we easily go around the outside and up into 4th place now. And very weird race, let's just be honest there. A lot of bugs that had to be ironed out by EA and Codemasters, to be honest. And unfortunately, like, it wasn't really the best race to edit, record and whatnot. But in the end, it's just how the game is. As you can see over there, still a fake debris flying off every time a car hits the curb, and that's where the racing line lies. So like the AI will just try to get onto the curb, you know, use the entirety of the track at their disposal. But Carlos Sainz takes the flag to win the Brazilian Grand Prix ahead of Verstappen and Alonso, who finish 2nd and 3rd, and we're gonna follow them to finish 4th. Honestly, I don't know what to say, to be fair. It's a decent result in terms of, like, in terms of what happened in the race. If it was a bit more realistic, that would be more of a satisfying 4th place from 17th. But as you saw just now, it wasn't really the best.
Ferrari are at it again. An excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action, and I can't wait to see what's
Alright,
next.
thank you guys so much for watching this episode of F124 My Team Career Mode. A bit of an interesting / annoying race to follow, if I was you. But, you know, the series has to go on. I had to do something about it, and what I did was basically just edit out like the 6 or 7 safety cars that we got. And in the end, it there was some like good passes, you know, nice overtakes and so on. But yeah, the next few races won't be like that, I promise. Because at that point, I think I waited a good amount of time until I saw a patch note where those bugs were fixed, and I think the bug was specific to the Brazilian Grand Prix, so there shouldn't be any weird issues like that occurring anymore in the videos. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe, Don't forget to follow me on Instagram if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.